And we knew what we were up. Well, you have to forecast up there and settle for that. No, they thought that was real. And as a result of that, they got it over the heads. Nobody wanted the WG-30. It was too big, too boxy, too slow. It simply wasn't sexy. And they kept on building whitetails for this market that never appeared. And it became obvious that the company was going bankrupt. Now, the first person that really noticed it was going bankrupt was Alan Bristow. Okay, Alan Bristow was a big North Sea helicopter operator. He was a big buyer of S-61s. And he decided he was going to take over Westland. He did inquire as to whether Sikorsky wished to join him in this venture. For reasons that I've never quite understood, but probably sound ones, we said no.
Now, what time period are we talking about here?
Mid-70s? No, it must be about the 80s.
Okay.
Let me have a look here for a moment. Doesn't help a great deal. This was happening around about the late 70s. Okay. I found it here. Alan Bristow actually made his bid in 1985.
Oh,
okay. So 1985. Yes, that's right. This all came together in the last year I was with Sikorsky. So it was 1985. We made the bid. Sikorsky chose not to join him, and so he went ahead, made a bid, which meant he then had purview to Westland's books. Westland's books were up to. Having seen what Westland's books actually looked like, he withdrew his bid, and that created chaos. Basically, in the London financial district, you remember the Bank of England is required to maintain stability of industry. It has a strange role. It's not like the Treasury here. It is required, and the Bank of England has the power to change chairman if it feels it's a good idea, because it's there to make sure the industry is stable and sane. The Bank of England got real antsy about what was going on. I think Alan Bristow was blackballed forever, because once having made a bid, you'd never withdraw. But Alan Bristow didn't care. He was, if you ever want to hear tales about Alan Bristow, you might want to interview Bob Daniels sometime. He found him a very difficult customer, let's put it like that. There was one particular case, I remember they were driving along in Alan Bristow's Rolls Royce, and the radio didn't work. So Alan stopped the car and then kicked the radio out. Bob Daniel was suitably impressed. Anyway, the momentum. Sikorsky still believed Westland was a useful player to have on his side, even if the British Army didn't want them. They were damn good at getting to certain markets overseas, which we were less good at. They knew the Middle East far, far, far better than we did. And I'm not talking illegalities, I'm just talking relationships that go back 30, 40 years. Therefore, we were still interested in them. Anyway, in all this chaos, the then chairman of Westland thought it appropriate to retire, Basil Blackwell, and a new guy came in by the name of Sir John Cutney, and he was basically a Whitehall insider. Interesting enough, he'd been a spy for much of his life. Interesting guy. And he sat down and came to the conclusion that Westland need to be restructured, which means a whole bunch more money is going to be brought in from somewhere. And in the restructuring process, a significant partner in the helicopter industry was going to be needed, and that he eventually came to the conclusion that Sikorsky was that partner. Now, there are many people in this game. Bill Paul played a large role in this game. I played a fairly large role in this game. People like Columbus Islam were also part of this game. You know, if you're ever interested, you need to find the book Not With Honor, which is a particular write-up, but it's not totally accurate, but it's interesting.
Who wrote that?
Some guy, some learner or something like that. He worked for the Financial Times, or I believe, or the Economist wrote it. It's not totally accurate, but it's very good. It's got a good feel for what went on. So eventually, Sir John Courtney said to Sikorsky United Technologies, "Would you like to join us in restructuring Westland?" And the answer was, basically yes. And then came the whole difficulty of doing that, because that took us into places that the corporation had not been before. Like we found, the original ideas was to come in and take over 30% of the company. That's what company wanted. Please, we're going to restructure the company. We want you to own 30% of the new stuff. We found we couldn't do that. The law did not allow us to do that. Therefore, the need for another partner became necessary. Now, by pure chance, and I have no idea how this happened, Hubert Ford called up one day, because he was head of international at that time, and says, "Fiat want to talk to you." So I was sent to Milan to talk to Fiat as to what they wanted. First of all, I was sent to Paris to talk to Hubert Ford as to what it was all about, and then I was sent to Milan to find out specifically what they wanted, and they wanted to come as an equal partner. And that is why that is how the deal was eventually done, with UTC having 50% and Fiat having 15%. Now, the fact that the Americans were going to come in and rescue Westland really upset Michael Heseltine, who was the British UK Minister of Defence. He was avidly pro-European, and by God, he was going to make sure there was at least a European alternative was properly considered. The fact that having Fiat being half of us wasn't thought of as being fully European. So he started conversations with the French and the Germans to make a counter bid. Now, this created